Well, hi everyone, and welcome to our 22nd Kentico Partners webinar. I'm Karol Jarkowski, lead of consulting group at Kentico Software and your host for today. The topic of our today's session is K-Sharp and Kentico EMS, and today we're going to continue talking about new macro engine in Kentico 6.0 and how you can benefit from it in your Kentico website. Last week we covered more of technical details about macro engine and K-Sharp, and thus today we will, building on top of that knowledge, talk about how to apply theory into practice. With that being said, let me start with drawing a picture what we are going to do today. I will walk you through a sample scenario, as you can see on the schema in front of you, as it's something that I believe could be really considered a real-world example. Let's pretend for a while we are running an e-commerce business. We are selling various products, but mostly electronic, and one of the areas we specialize in is home electronic. So stuff like TVs, DVDs, Blu-ray players, and home theater systems, and so on. We have recently paid and executed for PPC campaign with the working name Upgrade Lineup, displayed in various locations on the internet, and one of them is also a website running on my local host. So the website I'm talking about is in the schema pictured as banner campaign web, and the campaign Upgrade Lineup campaign is driving the traffic to our e-commerce website. So specifically to home electro department, where we store all products from this category. If visitor coming to our website through this campaign hasn't previously purchased product from the home electro department, we want to include him or her automatically within our home electro leads contact group. So that's the dynamic contact group displayed here. Dynamic because we will set up the system to automatically handle contact management and members of that contact group for us automatically. And later, after some time, once we gather enough contacts, we using segmentation, we've been able to separate enough customers for customers within home electro leads group, and now we want to send them a marketing email message informing about great offers going on our website. And email campaign is going to be prepared using newsletter module, and the email will contain a banner when the user click through to the home electro department page. As soon as customer adds some home electro product in the cart, the personalized version of TV detail page should be displayed, allowing him to select some additional free accessories. Otherwise, if the user doesn't come through the email campaign, or if the user doesn't match the second part of the criteria, so there is no home electro product in the shopping cart at the time when he or she is looking at TV detail page, the free options aren't displayed there. Okay, so that's the rough idea of what we have ahead of us, what we need to achieve. Before we actually start walking through the scenario, and before we start talking about each separate feature and how to set it up, how you can use the macro expressions to configure that feature, let me quickly mention a few prerequisites that I have to done. So the first of all, I had to enable the online marketing, which can be done through the site manager and settings. Then of course I had to prepare some custom document types for that I use to present the products in the content tree. So I have product TV, product home theater, and product Blu-ray player document types. And last thing, I have of course to create the product itself. So in the e-commerce module, I defined custom products and custom products option representing those free product options that I want to display for a certain group of users when viewing the TV product detail page. And then I have two users, Global Administrator and Andy Jones, both default users shipped with the Kentico installation. Global Administrator both already purchased something from our website, but the Global Administrator is the only user that actually purchased home electro product before. So let's go ahead and let's start with the demonstration. Let's start off with campaigns. So what we want to talk about in the next few minutes is how to set up the campaign, so upgrade lineup campaign and the email campaign. Before we actually take a look in the CMS desk and how to set it up, let me cover a few basic facts about campaigns and stuff that you should keep in your mind. So first of all, the campaign is basically represented by a link to your website with the campaign query string key contained within that URL. Whenever a user comes to that page, to the website or page through the campaign link, the system updates the page view statistics, but more important, it stores a cookie named campaign in the user's browser. The value of that cookie equals the name of the campaign that is being used in the URL. Only one campaign may be assigned to the user at a given time, and the current value is overwritten if the user returns to the site through a different campaign, which means that if I am a user that came through campaign A and then I click on the link that will take me to the same website through the campaign B, my cookie campaign is updated from campaign A to campaign B. Until the cookie expires, and by default the duration of the cookie is 24 hours, any actions performed by the visitor that are defined as conversions, as we know them, as we call them conversions, will be logged as part of the statistics kept for the campaign. And the currently active campaign with the introduction of Kentico EMS and 6.0 is also applied and stored along with the other information on contact activities. So the activities feature of the online marketing suite also reflects the campaign user comes from. So let's take a look on how it's set up in the CMS desk. We will most of the time we will work in the online marketing, on the online marketing tab. So let's go to online marketing, and the campaigns are available through a second. Okay, so campaigns are available through the analytics group. So you can click campaigns, it will take you to the campaign UI, and then when you switch to the campaigns tab, you can see both campaigns defined here. Let's take a look on the upgrade lineup campaign, which is the campaign that should drive the traffic from the external websites to our eShop. So besides display name and code name, which are common things for all Kentico objects, you have open from open to fields here that you can use to specify the time frame in which this campaign should be valid and enabled. You can then manually enable, disable the campaign, but most important part that I want to point out is the campaign condition. So if you don't specify the campaign condition, as we haven't done with the other with the email campaign, the user coming to the website through the URL containing this campaign name or the campaign name that relates to the campaign without condition, that user is automatically assigned with the campaign. So however, sometimes, like in this case, we want to assign that campaign to the user only if certain conditions are met. So let's take a look on how the condition looks like. First thing that you may notice is that in the new macro engine, in the macro condition editor, we can use you can write the code on the multiple lines. So I can use the format as you can see. I can use if else controlling statements. I can use flow commands like for each, while, for. That's the kind of stuff that you should know from the last month if you attended our previous webinar. And about the logic of that condition, as you can see, I'm working with the e-commerce context, which comes from CMS context and current. You don't need to necessarily specify this part, the full name. I'm using it just to demonstrate where the e-commerce context is located exactly. So the e-commerce context allows me to access the current user. If the current user is initialized, which is true if the user is signed in. If the user is public, of course, there is no custom current customer. So that's why I have this condition here. And then for the current customer, again from the e-commerce context, current customer, I'm going to loop through all customer orders, and for every order I'm looping through the order items, and I'm trying to find out if any of those items that are part of the specific order are actually representing product from home electro department whose SKU department ID is 28. As you can see, what I'm doing here actually to check that is that from the CMS context current, I'm using side objects collection. As you know from the last month, there is global objects collection and side objects collection. While the side objects collection allows me to access any site-specific object, the global object collection allows me to touch the instance wide objects available. So through the side objects, I'm accessing the SKUs, so all the products defined for the current website, and using the predefined where macro method, I'm filtering out only those SKUs that actually reflects the item SKU ID. So in other words, only those products that the item is representing. And from those products, I'm going a step further, and I'm actually filtering only those coming from SKU department ID 28. So if what you can see is that you can apply the method on the collection. Macro engine automatically handles that for you and apply the same rule on all the items within the collection, and you can even define the chain of the filters, and you can narrow down collection and filter objects as you need. If the resulting collection, the result return return value of the where condition is the collection, when the number of items in the collection is greater than 0, so there is at least one item coming from the SKU department ID, I can return false. So in other words, the user shouldn't be assigned with this campaign because he or she already purchased the product. Otherwise, I return true, so they should be assigned with the campaign. As you can see, the edit macro condition editor allows me to use any other feature that you might be used to from using the same editor in other parts of Kentico. Okay, so that's how this campaign is set up. The other campaign, as I mentioned, isn't leveraging the campaign condition because these campaign users from this campaign are coming through the email, and as long as they receive an email, we assume that they already match all the criteria that we need to we are interested in order to say that this user should be displayed with the personalized content. So that's how the campaigns are set up. Let's actually see how it works. So this is the referring website with the banner pointing to our website. If I go ahead and I open this website as an user, for example, in this case, global administrator, and if you take a look on cookies for this user shouldn't contain the campaign cookie because he previously purchased home electro product, and therefore there is no campaign assigned for the user. However, if we take a look on the same information from perspective of the end user, so if you go to this referring website, we click the banner, we land on the home electro page as an end user. If we check the same information, so cookies, we will notice the campaign is assigned to the user. So that demonstrates how the condition is dynamically evaluated and the cookie or campaign is assigned to the user or not. If we get back to that to our presentation, you may notice that we have covered the campaign portion, so email campaign and upgrade lineup campaign, and now we will take a look on contact groups and specifically dynamic contact groups, as because from all the users that are coming to our websites, we want to include all those that are assigned with the upgrade lineup campaign and whose order is older than 14 days. We want to include them within this dynamic contact group and work later on with that. So before we actually take a look in the CMS desk how it's set up, let's cover a few things about the contact groups in general. So first of all, the contact group in Kentico CMS are objects that enables you to group contacts according to the specific criteria. One contact can be contained in several different contact groups that you can later subscribe as a whole group to receive an email as part of company's email campaign. Contacts can be assigned to the group either manually or dynamically. We will focus on the dynamic options through the condition. So you will be able to specify the condition that will be evaluated, and whenever the contact matches certain criteria, he or she will be included within the contact group. And when defining that condition, besides the standard contact information, there is also the information on current contact available, so you can access any information that is relevant for the specific contact on the time when the condition is evaluated for that. Let's take a look in the CMS desk. The contact groups are available if we go to the online marketing under the segmentation section in the main menu. When you click on the contact groups, you can see we have the home electro leads contact group available. Here I have predefined it as dynamic contact group. So you have two options basically. You can either check this dynamic condition or leave it unchecked. If you leave it unchecked, what's going to happen is that this group is basically manual contact group that you need to assign contacts to. You can either add a single contact, or you can add the account, and all contacts that are part of that account will be automatically included within the contact group. If you check dynamic condition, you are able to specify the macro condition that will be evaluated against the contacts, and based on whether the result of that evaluation is true or false, the contact is either included or not. In addition to specifying the condition, you can also schedule a rebuild. If you don't schedule a rebuild, what's going to happen is that this condition will be evaluated only when the new contact is created within the system. if the new contact is created and the condition is evaluated for true, it's included, otherwise it's not included. And you can eventually come here and manually rebuild the contact group once in a while. However, the schedule rebuild gives you an option to specify how often should the group will be rebuilt, and that way you can achieve completely autonomy contact group that doesn't require your attention at all. Once you set it up, you schedule the rebuild and you are done. On the right side, you can see the current number of contacts that belong to that group and the last rebuild time. Before we take a look on the other tabs, let's take a look how the condition looks like. So again, I'm taking advantage of conditional statements, and I'm using the flow commands. So for each, what I'm doing here specifically is I'm using the contact object available when defining the condition for the contact group. I'm accessing his or her contact campaign value, and I'm trying to find out whether that contact is already signed with the upgrade lineup campaign. If that's true, I'm looping through all the contact orders. So as you can see, contact has orders object available, which makes historically all the orders completed by this contact available for me. And for every order, I'm calling my custom method, macro method, where inside that method I basically compare the order date with the current date, and the difference in days I compare to the number that is passed as a second parameter for this method. So I decide, I'm just trying to find out whether the order is older than X days or not, and that's what my custom method does. If you are interested in how it's actually registered in the system, you can either take a look in the developer's guide or watch our past webinar. It's pretty easy and straightforward. The other thing that you may notice here is that I can use the comments in the macro condition. So I can either use single line comments or I can use multi-line comments. So as you can see, I could spread the comment on multiple lines and it will still work. So let me actually revert this back. And of course, if the order is older than number of days X, then I return true, otherwise I return false. So based on this, the evaluation of this condition, the contact is included within the contact group or not. Right now, if you take a look on the contacts, there is only single contact included here. That's the end user, and we cannot see global administrator here because, as you've seen previously, the global administrator wasn't assigned with the upgrade lineup campaign because the global administrator already purchased the home electro product. So only Andrew is a user that qualify for membership with this home electro leads contact group. On the accounts tab, as I said, you can manually include the account, and then all users for that account will become members of this contact group. So this pretty much concludes the step when we need to set up the contact group. Let's get back to the presentation, to the schema, and let's recap here for a second. So we have the campaign set up, we have newsletter set up, we have dynamic contact group set up. So now let's assume that we are running the website using the upgrade lineup campaign for some time just to gather enough contacts to execute our email campaign. When that time comes, we want to set up the email campaign, and we want to send an email with a banner referring back to our Home Electro product page, and in order to do that, we need to set up the email campaign first. So before we get to the email campaign and how to set it up inside the CMS desk, let's again cover a bit of theory here. So with the email campaign, as you can probably guess, you can prepare and send out mass emails via Kentico newsletter module. Email issue is delivered to all subscribers of that particular newsletter. So when we are talking about subscribing the dynamic contact group to our newsletter, that means that at the time when we send out an email, all the contacts that are part of that contact group will receive the newsletter issue or the email marketing message from us. With support for multiple SMTP servers, you are able to set up very reliable and scalable emailing platform that really is able to deliver literally millions of emails in the time you would expect such platform to deliver it in. Subscriber management can either be done by importing mailing lists manually or by allowing visitors to subscribe on the website. With the Kentico EMS and online marketing suite, you can also use contacts or segmentation contact groups to include any existing users registered on your site to such newsletter. Using dynamic contact groups, you can ensure that every time you decide to execute another campaign, you have up-to-date list of contacts that are willing to consume information you want to share. You don't need to do any subscriber maintenance. Everything can be done automatically for you. On top of all of that, you can also track an email activity and manage things like bounce emails, open emails, and clicked links. When you define the newsletter issue content, you can take advantage of macro expressions, as you'll see, and besides the default macro values, macro keys, email, first name, last name, and subscribe link, with new macro engine you have access also to objects that represents a specific part of that email campaign. So for example, subscriber, which obviously represents the current subscriber to whom the email is being sent, newsletter, which is the parent newsletter containing all the newsletter issues, and then the newsletter issue itself. So the very basic information on the current issue, current email campaign that you're going to send out. So let's take a look on in CMS Desk again to see how it's all set up. Again, the newsletters are managed from the online marketing section and email marketing part of the menu. The same newsletter UI can be found also when going to tools and newsletters. So let's click on newsletters here really quick, and we can see the Home Electrofan newsletter listed right here. If we edit the newsletter and we go to the configuration, what you'll see is basic newsletter settings. I'm pretty sure that you are familiar with them because most of you have already worked with the newsletters. The online marketing part configuration is right here. So you have option to track open emails, click links, or you can log newsletter activities as online marketing activities. On the subscribers tag, that's the place where you have option to define subscribers. So you can either add subscriber manually, or you can add a subscriber based on user, or you can add a role as a subscriber, so all users that belongs to that role will be included as subscribers. But what we want to take advantage of is contact groups. So that's why if you click on the Add Contact Groups, you are able to select any contact group available for you in the context of the current site. What does it mean is that, as I said previously, at the time of sending out the email, all the contacts that are part of the contact group at that time are included within the contact list and receive a message. So let me actually, before we move further, let me start my local papercut SMTP server. So if we go to the issues, that's actually the list of the issues that you send out. So basically, email marketing campaign messages that you send out so far. This one is what we want to send out right now. As you can see, the content is pretty simple. I'm using that basic macro here to evaluate, dynamically evaluate the first name of the subscriber, and then I placed some banner in the newsletter issue text whose link, if we take a look on the properties, and then link, the link is pointing to the home electro page again, but this time with the campaign query string key as home electro fan to indicate users that are coming to the email campaign. The banner itself is placed as an attachment here, and once you upload the file here, you are able to paste it to the text from here. So yeah, and one more thing about those macros. So if you are placing the macro, you can either insert the field, as I said, the very basic one, or you can take advantage of insert macro selector that supports syntax highlighting and IntelliSense. So you can type something like subscribe, and you can see that I have an option to use subscriber and access any information about this subscriber. So the similar thing I can do for the newsletter issue or newsletter object that I mentioned back in the presentation. So let's actually go ahead and let's send out this newsletter issue. I hit send, and in a minute I should be able, you can see that I received a new message. When we take a look on the new message, you'll see that this is the email with my personalized content. I can click on the link and it will open or target of that link in a new window. If I access that link from the context of the user that doesn't belong to upgrade lineup cookie, and it really doesn't matter that it doesn't that user doesn't belong to that campaign, because as you've seen when we've been configuring that campaign, this one home electro fan campaign, we haven't specified conditions. So what you should actually see is that even though I'm signed in as the global administrator, if I take a look on the cookies, I should be able to see the current campaign set up for as a home electro fan assigned to this user. So that's what is the difference between the campaign with the condition and without the condition. If we take a look on the same page, for this home electro fan, as an user and the user will be able to see that even though this user has previously assigned the upgrade lineup campaign, now the campaign is overwritten with the new campaign through which are coming on our website. So that should give you an idea how you can set up and execute the email campaigns. And now the last step in our scenario is displaying that content, personalized content. So in order to do that, let's take a look. Let's recap quickly here. So we have done campaigns, we have done dynamic groups, we set up dynamic groups, we have actually set up and executed the email campaign, and now we want to customize, personalize the content that users, different groups of users can see. So the last thing we need to do is set up the content personalization. Content personalization is another feature of online marketing suite available for EMS editions. It allows you to define personalized variants for users based on circumstances and context in which pages are viewed. This way, it makes it really easy to display or hide certain elements on page based on the previous actions of current user, as well as any other information related not only to the user but also to the system or site. So basically any other system or site variable like e-commerce orders in general or current month total sale. So if you want to display the content on the website based on what is the how far you are in achieving your goals sales-wise, you can do that as well. Personalization of the content is done through the standard website building blocks, which are obviously web part zones, web parts or widgets, at least those that are placed within the page editor zone. Personalized variants are displayed based on whether the assigned condition is matched. So what it means is that each variant allows you to specify a condition that will be evaluated, and if it's fulfilled, specific variant is displayed. That means that when a visitor selects the page on the live site, the variants of all objects that are using personalization will have their conditions dynamically resolved according to the current context, and only appropriate variant will be displayed for each object. So that's kind of theory, and now actually take a look. Let's take a look how it looks like in the CMS desk. So at this point we are moving from online marketing section and we're going back to the content, because as I mentioned, the content variants I managed on the web part zones, web parts and widgets level. So that means that we control them through the design or page tab. In this case, I do that through the design tab. What you can see in here is that I have a data list, and the data list has a slider at the top that I can use to switch between variants. You can create a new variant for any web part if you do the right click on the web part, or if you use that arrow button. If you click on that, there is personalization variants option in the menu, and you can click add web part variant. It will bring up the pop-up dialog where you can specify the details for the variant, and then in the next step, after you confirm this dialog, you'll be displayed with the web part configuration specific for that variant. So that's what I already did. If I switch to the second variant, so the first variant is the default product list settings. So as you can see, it's standard data list configuration, general and layout tabs, and in here you specify path that you want to use to pick up the documents, what document types you want to display, and then the transformation and selected item transformation. The transformation is the same for all document types. For the selected item transformation, because we are going to take a look on details of that product, we are dynamically evaluating the class name using macro expression, and we are using and to render the details we're using the default transformation for that particular document type. That's pretty straightforward. When we switch to second variant and we take a look on configuration for that variant, you'll notice first of all that the difference is number of tabs. Besides general and layout, you have also the variant properties option in this dialog, which actually display the details that you entered, filled in when you were creating a new variant. So if you enable that variant, the condition, display condition, is evaluated whenever the page is displayed or element is displayed on the page to find out what variant should be used. If we take a look on the variant condition, you can notice two things. The first one is that I'm accessing the cookie information and I'm accessing that through the data macro. So with previous version, it's something that you couldn't easily achieve. With the latest version, a new macro engine, I can simply use the type of the objects as an object, and then accessing specific cookies using the name of the cookie as a property of that object. So if we get back here, if I quickly bring up that those cookies, I could use, for example, the view mode or current theme or any other name that you can see over here as a property of that cookies object, and I could access its value. So that's what I'm doing right here, and I'm trying to find out whether the current cookie for that user is home electro fan. And then the second portion is that as we mentioned at the beginning, this personalized content variant should be displayed only to the users that are coming to the home electro fan, which is the first part, and then only to the users that are currently have another home electro product in the shopping cart at the time when they view that TV product detail page. So that's why, again, I'm using the e-commerce context. This time I'm not using the full name, as you may notice. I'm accessing the current shopping cart, which is object representing the current user's shopping cart, getting all items placed within that shopping cart, and I'm filtering those items using the default filter macro method to filter only items with SKU department ID equals 28, which basically means that only those items that belongs to home electro department. The question you may have here is why I'm using filter this time and I have used where previously. The reason being is that with the where condition, I'm able to specify the TSQL where condition, the standard thing. However, I'm only able to access the direct properties of the object. So in this case, I would be able to access only the cart items properties. However, with the filter method, I'm actually able to specify another macro expression. So this isn't the SQL statement. This is the macro expression that is evaluated against every single item in the shopping cart items collection. So what you can see, I'm actually accessing the SKU child object or related object of that shopping cart item, because the shopping cart item doesn't carry information on department ID. That information is available only through the related SKU object. So I'm accessing the SKU object, which is the SKU is the property of the shopping cart item object, and through that SKU object, I'm accessing the SKU department ID to compare it to 28, which is the home electro department ID. And if that's all, the whole statement returns items more than 0 items, so any item at all, then the whole condition is evaluated for true, and this variant is displayed to the user. So actually, let's see how it works on a page, on the website. So let me go back here as an user, as a global administrator. So user that doesn't have any item in the shopping cart yet. If I take a look on Samsung TV, you'll see that I have an option to place that product in the shopping cart. However, I'm not able to select any free product options, any free accessories. However, if I came to the same page as a user that has something in the shopping cart, let's actually take a look what's in the shopping cart. That's Blu-ray, so it's another home electro department product, and that's why when we go back to the home electro and we take a look on the very same Samsung LCD TV, LED TV, you can see that variant 2 is displayed to this user, and as you will see, the part of the variant 2 is also the option, the area where I can choose my free accessory with my TV. So that's actually how it really works from user point of view. The one more thing that I forgot to mention is the difference in settings of that part. So the only difference really is how the selected item transformation is defined. In previous case, if you remember, we have dynamically evaluated the class name, and then the actual transformation was always default transformation for that document type. What I'm doing here for the transformation is evaluating the class name. If it's product TV document type, I'm using ternary operators here, which is another feature or another option available with new macro engine. If I'm comparing the document types, if it's product TV, I'm using the default underscore with options transformation, which actually specifies that the product option should be displayed. Otherwise, for any other document type, I'm using the default transformation as with original default variant. So that's the difference, and that basically concludes not only this part of the presentation, but it also concludes the whole session. That's everything that we have planned for today. I hope it was helpful for you. I would like to thank you for your time, and I'm looking forward to meet you again next month or some other time. Actually, the next